What's up everyone, today I'm going to be restoring the Super Beat pair of Royalty 4s. I got these about 2 or 3 years ago on eBay for about 40 bucks, and I just found them in my closet and I was like, shoot, might as well restore them. So they're pretty beat, as you can see. The soles are really yellow, suede's super messed up and stained. I'm going to have to do a midsole repaint on these. I'm going to have to unyellow the midsoles and soles. And yeah, it should be pretty fun, so let's get right into this. I'm going to start off by taking a shoe tree and inserting it into the shoe. This is just going to help with reshaping the shoe throughout the cleaning process. The first step to restoring these shoes is going to be taking care of the uppers. I'm going to use a soft bristle brush to just slowly brush away all the dirt on the top. I don't want to use any sort of liquid or water to clean the uppers of these shoes because that's going to ruin the suede material. So I'm just going to slowly brush at all the dirt and try to get as good as I can. Also, as you can see here, there's just a few little strings hanging loose, so I'm going to use the scissors to clip away the little excess thread that's hanging off. Once I've got the uppers all cleaned up, I'm going to be using a stiff bristle brush and an all-purpose brush, including some soapy water just to clean the midsoles and the soles of the shoes. I don't have any fancy shoe cleaner right now, so I just took some warm water with some Dawn dish soap, and that'll do the job. I'm going to be really careful not to get any of the cleaner on the uppers of the shoes because the suede can get completely wrecked if it gets wet. So I'm going to slowly wipe off the excess water and soap with a towel as I clean. As you can see here, there's still some pretty deep stains in the suede, so I'm going to be using a eraser or a suede eraser from Angelus just to scrub at those little spots, hoping to get them out, and then I'm going to follow it up by brushing away all the excess eraser shavings that come off. After we're done here using the suede eraser, I'm just going to use an electric razor to get rid of any of the loose hairs on the suede or any extra lint that's in the inside of the shoe. So as you can see, after the suede eraser, there's a little bit of discoloration and the suede's still a little bit fade in some spots. I wasn't able to completely get any of the stains out, but I did as best as I could. But I'm going to be using some mink oil just to hydrate the suede and get it to look nice and even all around again. Now that the uppers are completely cleaned up, I'm going to be using some acetone on a Q-tip just to get rid of the deeper dirt stains that are still stuck in this midsole, just to prepare it for unyellowing. So now that the midsoles are for the most part clean, I still can do a little bit more if I want to, but for now they're good enough. But now that they're pretty clean, I'm going to be putting them in my ice box with some 40 volume cream, saran wrap, and then I'm just going to be applying it on there with a paintbrush. So now that the midsole is all ready to be unyellowed, I've got the saran wrap on the shoe along with the 40 volume cream. I'm just going to be putting it in my indoor ice box. I'm going to leave it in there for 24 hours and take it out. This is what it's looking like now. Not perfect. I might put it in for a little bit longer, but it looks a lot better than it did. After we ice the midsoles, we're going to be icing the soles of the shoes as well. And I'm just going to be using some more Salon Care 40 along with my paintbrush to apply it on there. Now that we're finished applying a generous coat of Salon Care 40 to the bottom of the sole, I'm going to be folding some saran wrap around it just to prevent the Salon Care 40 from drying up under the UV light. And then I'm going to pat it down in every spot just to make sure it's fully on there. And I'm going to leave this under for about 24 hours and take it out when it's done. So this is what it's looking like after 24 hours. It's not a ton different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some acetone on a Q-tip and get any of that extra dirt off. The good thing is that the Salon Care 40 actually loosened up a lot of the dirt, so it's pretty easy to just take it right off. Next, I'm going to get the scuffs out of these little wings on the sides. I'm going to take some acetone to get rid of those major scuffs, like the one right here. And I'm just going to take a matte acrylic finisher, and I'm going to spray that finisher on the wing. So here's what the wings are looking like now. Much better. Next, I'm going to repaint the midsole completely. So I taped off the lower part of the midsole, as you can see here. And I did it off camera, but I fully repainted the white portion of the midsole. And here is now the black part of the midsole fully painted and taped up. So now I'm just going to remove the extra tape and see what the midsole repaint looks like. We're getting pretty close to finishing up the restoration actually, but I'm just going to get rid of these scuffs on the back tab. I'm going to take some acetone and go over it, and then I'm just going to take some black paint on a Q-tip and cover it up. Finally here, I'm just going to whiten the toe cap on this shoe. It's got a ton of really deep scuffs in it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some acetone and scrub pretty hard at that and get rid of all that just to prepare it for the icebox. So now that I've got all the scuffs off, I put some 40 volume cream on there and I taped up the upper so it wouldn't get on the suede with some saran wrap over it, and I'm going to put them into the ice box and let it sit in there for about 24 hours. So here's them after 24 hours. They're looking really good. Still a few tiny scuffs in there that I wasn't able to get out, but it looks a lot better than it did, and it's probably as good as I'll be able to get. So now I'm going to finish off by just lacing the shoe, and this restoration will be complete. So here's the final product of them. Hopefully you guys like this video, and I'm going to try to get some more restoration videos up soon. It turned out pretty good, but the only issue is that I think on the right shoe there's a weird air bubble that's popped in the toe area, and it makes a really weird squeaky noise whenever you walk in it. So I'm probably going to try a midsole swap or a sole swap, and I'll be doing that in a later video if I end up doing that. But for now, they look pretty good. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next restoration.